Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Bring It Back. This being a show where I talk about TV shows that were canceled and or short-lived that I would like to see get brought back in some shape or form. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the CW series DC's Legends of Tomorrow. Really quickly run down, if you're unfamiliar with what DC's Legends of Tomorrow is, it is a show set in the Arrowverse. It's kind of a combined spin-off of Arrow and The Flash, where basically we had characters from both respective shows come together. It's a time traveling show. It definitely has like very like Doctor Who vibes. Basically this unlikely team of misfits of heroes and villains, mainly heroes, a couple villains, some new characters as well, like the Hulks and stuff like that, come together to, at first it was working with a time traveler, Rip Hunter, to stop a bad guy, Vandal Savage, but that's just the first season. Every season brings about new time travel shenanigans, them going throughout history and stopping changes to the time, sometimes making things worse, sometimes making things better, but like every season a new theme, a new villain. And the show has drastically changed its cast over the course of the series. Like, you compare the season 1 cast to where we were in season 7. It's like the only OG member of the team left. Oh, aside from Gideon is Sarah. So, but yes, some sad news came out recently that Legends of Tomorrow was canceled, which I'm super bummed. I was so excited to see what was going to happen with season 8. I feel like, and maybe this is my mistake, but I always feel like Legends of Tomorrow was kind of like iZombie in the regard of like it was never always guaranteed to get a new season. It was just always like, oh, will we get a new season or not? I always felt like that because I feel like, I mean, and maybe this is my misconception, but I feel like out of all the like DC stuff, I feel like it didn't get the most probably like viewership, but the show is so good. Like, I would put this show up there with Doom Patrol if you've seen Doom Patrol. How absurd and wild and fun this show is, because this show has everything. It is like this neat science fictional show. It is this, especially like, I feel like the show is very serious with comedic elements in its first 1 or 2 seasons. Season 3 on the show like completely shifted its tone, and it really like leaned into like the comedy and like how absurd everything is, but it still made you care for these characters along this journey. I mean, even this most recent season, season 7, the show celebrated their 100th episode. I think it was like episode 3 or 4 maybe of the season, might even been 5 of the season, was episode 100 of the series. So I am bummed because, especially like where season 7 left us, it introduced a character I was like, what? If you listen to my review of the season 7 finale, you know who I'm talking about. I literally like lost my mind. I was so excited by it, and also by the actor that was playing. I was like, oh, we're gonna get more of you in the DC universe, but it seems like that might not be the case, you know? And even just besides that, it's just a fun time travel show. It's just such a cool show that just, it's so much fun that I love so much. And I honestly think it might be my favorite DC show, just because of like how weird and wild it has been for seasons now. And like I said, like every new season was a new theme, ranging from the Mysteries to the Encores, to the to aliens, to robots. And I would have loved like get some inkling without spoiling of what season 8 would have been like, but whether that would have been the whole, I don't know, man. I'm just bummed that we're not getting another season, because we don't get the conclusion to so many stories, especially like the Sarah and Ava thing, like where they were at the end of the season. No spoilers for anyone that hasn't caught up. So that's the complicated thing about this thing too. I feel like the way season 7 ended, you could make the 8th season a potential final season, but I wouldn't want just one more season. I want more, because I'm like, there's so many more adventures you could still go on, but at the bare minimum, it's like I would want at least one more season to wrap everything up, but maybe you could go a little bit longer, another season or 2, but it's such a bummer, like, you know? But once again, it is that thing of like, well, you got 7 seasons of the show. I know, but I'm greedy and selfish, and I want more. I am the person time and time again who has to say, when I love something, I never want it to end. That's just me. And it's not like, oh, the show is like, oh, getting canceled and it's got one more season. Like, no, the show's not even getting its 8th season. So at the very least, I want it to get that, hopefully more, but, you know. So I am curious. Legends of Tomorrow, to my understanding, is still one of those DC shows that still has that Netflix deal. I mean, who knows how long that's going to be with licensing deals and stuff. But I think it's still going to be one of those shows that's on Netflix, because it's one of those things that, like, a week after it ends on the CW, ended up on Netflix. I'm thinking. So I don't know if Netflix would grab this up or not, just because they might not be interested in the audience and keeping it. Like, it might just be not worth it. Netflix is kind of going through its own thing right now, so maybe this wouldn't be something they'd be interested in. Another part of me is like, well, this could be an opportunity to consolidate everything, or at least a good chunk of the even more stuff on HBO Max. Because if I'm not mistaken, I know Batwoman's on there, and also I think Superman and Lois are there, and Stargirl are there too. So, but the other DC stuff is on Netflix for now, just because of the licensing rights and stuff. So it could be their way to kind of pull that over there now. But it's like the CW is going through its own thing, while Warner Brothers, with the whole Discovery situation, is going through its shifts and stuff. That's been a conversation about whether or not, what kind of effect this would have on the Arrowverse. And it seems like, you know, potentially like Flash entering its final season and stuff. So I would want either Netflix or HBO Max. I'd probably lean more towards HBO Max. That way you can, once again, kind of consolidate everything. But neither one might not want it. But I hope, because I know there was a big, like, fan, like, support, like, you know, being like, because they hadn't heard anything about season 8 yet. So, like, I know a lot of fans were like, where's season 8? Give us season 8. Season 8. Renew the show for its 8th season. So I am bummed, but I hope, fingers crossed, that someone changes their mind, whether it be Discovery / Warner Media or even Netflix. But like I said, I'd lean more towards at least HBO Max, at least give the show a proper ending. Because once again, every season, like, every story is built upon itself, but each season is almost its own contained story. So if you wanted to wrap everything up in an 8th season, that'd be fine. Once again, I'd want more, but keep the show going as long as possible. But at very least, giving the show a proper ending is what I would want. But really, that's all I wanted to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day, and good